That's right. I should stop right there.
Hello, I bid you a warm welcome to this week's episode. And first of all, we must apologise on Eris's behalf, not just because he isn't here, but because he's Canadian.
First of all,
You heard
Joining us
yourself,
this
didn't you?
week. I did, it was terrible.
Sorry.
Joining us this week, we have three people who have more fun than Bill Clinton at backstage concert at a Spice Girls concert. We have, of course, Cajun Spice, fastcart.
Hello, everyone. As you can
Scary
see,
Spice. Oh, what?
as you can see, there are no Canadians on today because they're in a deep freeze and we're waiting for them to thaw out.
They're trying to figure out what happened with Justin Trudeau and the chocolate bar. Look it up.
Okay.
It's a thing. Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Scary Spice, Nitro Type Hat.
Boo.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
I'm so sorry. Old Spice, Juntau.
Old Spice. Bravo.
The worst bit was I was going through all my spices and I was like, oh, black pepper. Oh, no.
Hey, that would have been me.
I didn't want to go there, to be honest. Really didn't want to go there.
You only 3/5 there.
Our special guest this week is Juntau. This is the first time I think you've been on Relay.
Yeah, it was ballsy. Ballsy for you to ask.
I couldn't think of anyone better.
Yeah, you couldn't think of anyone else because no one else was available.
I didn't check.
I appreciate the invite. It's very kind of you.
It is very good of you to be here. You're a very busy man. What do you do?
I play City
Community-wise.
Skylines.
That's a good game.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was doing when I was interrupted by this call.
I apologize for that.
Oh, it's okay.
You did warn
So,
He did warn me, yes.
where might we know you from?
No one knows who I am. That's not even a thing.
Don't you do a podcast on Sundays?
I do.
Not a podcast.
We made it a podcast. I took a banana and shoved it up Rico's behind and told him it's a podcast.
That's what
Did
we're
you
going to
like
do with all those bananas.
That's why there's a banana shortage. Because he's got a very big ass.
I think I have a Twitch clip for that.
It's going to be one of
It's going to
those.
be one of those, I'm afraid, guys.
I think I actually have a Twitch clip for that when he read
I'm
that
sorry.
when he read that fan fiction or whatever on the base.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's still on
I've got
YouTube.
some good out of context things that would go along with that.
Oh, Woody.
I'm sorry though. Your viewership is more in tune with what goes on in Star Citizen than just bullshit random stuff. Is that what or where are we?
For the
Where are we
most
at with
part.
this podcast? Anyways, I'm from the base radio, kind of, sort of, if that's the thing. And we do shit different. So I'm not sure what the hell I'm supposed to be doing here.
Wait,
we didn't
you're
talk
from the
about it
base
either.
radio?
There were no guidelines set forth prior to this.
Don't worry,
Call?
I've written down guidelines for us to completely ignore and go off the rails. with.
Oh, okay.
So that's no problem.
Wait, you're from the base radio? I'm from the base radio.
You
And
guys are from the
he's
base
from the
radio.
base
I'm from the
radio.
base radio.
And he is from the base radio, so I'm totally confused what the fuck we're doing here.
Pretty much the same as what you do on a Sunday.
Oh,
okay.
I just got a really good idea.
A relay good idea.
Yeah, really good idea. Continue
You work
talking.
on your
I'm just
idea.
going to do it.
All right. So Drake Corsair was revealed. That's like, I suppose, the biggest news really at the moment, which we'll talk about. It started way back in 2017 on an RTV when the backers were asked to choose the name of the Drake version of a constellation. At the
And
moment,
not just
it
the name,
is-
there was like the concept too, I believe.
Yeah. It's £206.40, €234.78, $258. Prices may vary depending on taxes. Have we all seen it?
Yes.
Yes.
Seen what?
The Corsair.
I've
Go on,
Seen
Mike.
it.
Your thing.
It's a thing.
That wasn't the thing I was working on. I just realized that I had video for the Corsair.
Oh, okay. I put the link in Twitch and Discord.
It's being marketed as exploration marauding ship, so I think, you know, deep space pirates that want to prey on explorers. No?
And, you know, when they say it like that, I'm thinking about the Reapers from Firefly.
Yeah, not
yeah. Imagine that, but with less cannibalism.
Oh,
so are the pilots of this ship are required to take the skin of dead people and put it all over their face and shit?
Yeah.
Because that would be a
more
cool
of a
thing.
guideline than a requirement.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it gets cold in space.
Mm.
Well, you want to get the conversation started right. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Don't like it?
No.
Why?
I don't like the asymmetry.
Yeah.
I think the concept misses the mark.
It's shaped like a Y.
Yeah.
That does seem to be a polar split on that.
They could have done a better job with the asymmetry, but I'm confused as to why the starboard wing is like forever long and then the two port wings are like shorter. It looks
because it wouldn't looks cool when they fold up.
Well, that's what my friends were saying when we were talking about it. It's the rule of cool, and I said that's not fucking cool. If it was the rule of cool and I looked at it and said, oh, that's cool, then that would be the rule of cool. But I look at it and go, wow, that's stupid. But that's just my one man's opinion. See, like right there, what he's showing. I don't like that. It looks imbalanced.
Has anyone seen any of the fan-made attempts to correct it?
Yes. Fixed.
Which
yes.
have you got a favorite out of those?
The one with the 3 wings.
Yeah,
they made it like with 2 long wings. And
yeah.
Can you look it up and post it? I'll give you permission.
I like that one.
Maybe some. I think it's on the subreddit. If you want to look it up and post it in chat.
Everything's on the subreddit.
Yeah, but yeah, that correction reminded me of the Arc 170 fighter from Star Wars because it had the 3 wings. You guys might not remember that one because it was from the prequels, but
they were prequels.
Unfortunately.
I don't know what everybody else thinks about the ship. I mean, the interior design is pretty nifty, but that's
just what I was going to get on. Actually, was the interior because they've actually got like individual crew quarters for once as well.
A toilet.
And in the middle, it's the massive equipment rack with everything coming off of there. Do you think the implications for that in a boarding situation are going to make things worse or better?
Depends for who. Who's going to board a Drake ship? We're just going to blow it up.
It's true. But then if you're doing the offensive boarding using the Drake ship, if it's near enough to the airlock when you board, you can just quickly get everyone out of their stations, leave your pilot in there if he wants to fuck off and leave you. Grab your shit, get in, go, kill, pillage.
Do we know if there's a secondary entry to this ship besides the rear door?
They talk about it on RTV.
Did they? Because I started watching RTV and I fell asleep.
I was watching RTV when I was I had it on while I was taking a shower today, so I listened to it again. But there is one, but I forget where, I believe.
Because it's not underneath.
Someone else can tell us in chat.
I mean, maybe it's underneath. I didn't see it.
But my thought about what?
Cammy says, I hope the ship crashes immediately when going into atmosphere. What a silly design. I agree, 100%. 100%. Like, even that shot right there where the wings are both up, it doesn't look right.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the double wings folded up like that. That's weird.
My thoughts about it is that it looks interesting, especially for a Drake ship. Drake is not normally my go-to manufacturer, because when I think of Drake, I think about the old Cutlass, not the new Cutlass. So I was thinking, a Drake Explorer, that's not gonna be too good. But then I watched the RTV, and I listened to, I don't know if you guys know about STL Youngblood. but he had this series called Should You Buy? And he brought us some interesting points, and I'm like, oh, it had been more interested, but I have Nikila already, so I have the Rover, the Snub Fighter, and the Explorer. So I don't really need this thing, but it's cheaper, so it should be a good buy for people who are interested in a multi-crew Explorer ship.
So aren't there like 12 guns on this Explorer ship?
It's
Very
ridiculous.
big guns as well.
Yeah,
It's like two
4.
size 5s on the nose.
And man turrets? Is that right? The side turrets
Yeah,
are man turrets?
Man turret. But you can have AI control. Yeah.
Talking of the side turrets, what do you think that the what's it called? The field of attack? Is it field of attack? Attack
Field of view.
The
Or,
angle. The angle.
You're talking about the arc, the attack arc?
oh,
of
the
side-
angle
Thank
of
you.
fire or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on RTV. They said there was like 120 degrees or 90 degrees.
So do you think that opens up potential weak spots to just come at the ship from either side?
It depends on. I mean, not at a certain distance. You got to get real close to get into the blind spot.
But it's still a blind spot nonetheless.
You got to get in close now.
True, but it's still possible. It's not like
It's
if you
possible,
if you coming at it from the side and you've got something in front of it, it's going to be more concentrating on the thing in front of it. While you could, if it's taking on a Connie, perfect chance for the snub fighter to come out and attack from the side.
Well, yeah, but you got to remember that this thing is the size of a Connie, and actually even wider. So I can imagine that its maneuverability isn't as good. So getting in close and in its blind spot probably isn't as hard as it sounds. Because, I mean, what was it on ATV a couple weeks ago? They talked about how they're teaching the AI how to fly bigger ships to use its, area of attack with its turrets more than just aiming the ship directly at the target and firing. So...
And talking of blind spots, it's got this weird quirk with the co-pilot seat.
I think it's kind of
Pilot.
interesting, yeah.
You start off, like a traditional cutlass in front and behind, and then the co-pilot goes underneath, and he has his own window just for the underneath view. I'm terrible with the technical terms.
Like,
Do you think that's
it's
going to be a hindrance, though? Because shouldn't the pilot have as much field of view and awareness of the battlefield rather than having to communicate with the co-pilot?
well, it depends on what jobs the co-pilot can do. Because what can they do down there? I mean they're below you, so how often are you going to use that field of view, even if you had the opportunity to look down there? Because I mean, I get that field of view is the most important thing when flying a ship, but we're also in a first-person game, and unless you have track IR or some other way of moving your head without, hitting free look while flying, you're not going to be looking anywhere but the normal field of view. Because, I mean, the Hawk has that little window, and so does the Valkyrie. They both have that little window down by your feet so you can look down below you. But how often are you going to use that? So...
Well, it depends. There's 2 points on that. The first point would be if you have a webcam, CIG is going to fix that for
That's
you because the head tracking software is going to allow you to look down and sideways to whatever degree the software is good enough to determine how far your head is turned. And if they do what Track IR did and allow you to create custom curves for that, if you turn your head a little, it turns a little. But if you turn your head, just out of the thing, it could be a 90-degree turn from your character's head. So we'll see where they go with that. And then yeah, I don't know. It doesn't particularly impress me. It seems gimmicky.
Yeah.
I like what they did more with the Cutlass than that, how they raised the co-pilot up to sit above the pilot then. But they're playing around, they're learning how to do shit. So
By the way,
hey, can we make this work?
I just have to ask. It's been 15 minutes. Nitro, did you hit record?
I did.
Can I just say it's been 15 minutes? Are you all right, Fastcart?
Yes, I'm still alive. Thank goodness.
Okay.
Well, he brought back like a quart jug of whatever it is. It's not grape juice. It's some simply fruit
Kool-Aid.
something or other.
Kool-Aid.
Oh, is it Kool-Aid? Is it grape Kool-Aid?
I wasn't joking.
It's purple drink.
That's purple drink.
I wasn't joking.
You gave some to Nitro prior because he turned kind of purple.
I'm blue, I'm a debudded, whatever that song is. I can never do it right.
So it's definitely a highly experimental ship, certainly, and it's good that they're trying these new things, but some of these things seem a bit more to do with looking cool, being cool than practical use, you know?
And it's Drake, so it shouldn't be cool at all.
That was another thing. Someone I know actually is quite a fan of the Drake ships, and he doesn't actually go for the aesthetic of this ship because it's just so different.
That's just the opposite of me, because I normally don't go for big ship, but I like this one.
Somebody had said that it looks like they took the idea behind the Carrack and like bastardized it into a Drake ship.
You know, that's a good point. Yeah. It's got like serious care. It's like Drake got the designs for the Carrack, and they're like, all right, how do we not make it look like a Carrack but still keep the idea of it?
Oh, you know what? This ties into Star Citizen, because during the not Star Citizen, to CitizenCon, during the CitizenCon day that we were out, it had these booths with all these manufacturers, and you had to go back and forth and to get a prize, to get a card and stuff like that. And one of the things they were asking for was for blueprints for different ships. So maybe we helped that along. No, Shiver?
I don't know if you're thinking too much into that, or I'm not thinking enough into that.
I'm thinking too much into it.
Oh, okay.
He wants to give CIG the credit of being like cunning and witty and having forethought. No. They're doing it on the fly, dude. They're figuring it out as they go. Yes, they are definitely doing it live, which is fine. It's cool to see, but it's just not my thing. And I know there's a ton of people that bought it. They made a bunch of fucking money.
Yeah, they did.
You know, so at $195 for a ship that has, 12 guns and an ungodly amount of rockets and frickin' supposedly a life support system that'll carry you for. Yes?
The $195 just for the single ship. They also have packs that they're selling.
Yeah, but there's no LTI tokens in those packs, are there? Well, I guess there are, because there's a couple Dragonflies, but I don't know if they're
the $2,000 ones have LTI, I'm pretty sure.
Anything over $1,000 has LTI, period. Right. So
I think Method's got, a good point that we've all touched on. It's I can't help feeling this will get symmetrical like the Herald, and I think with the flight system in atmosphere, yeah, like you've all said, I don't know how that's going to work in an atmosphere.
It doesn't have VTOL, does it? It doesn't look like it had VTOL.
It doesn't look like it.
We were talking about that.
Potentially VTOL capable with the massive maneuvering jets, depending on the gravity.
Right, and the strength of the new maneuvering thrusters and their state and the mass of the ship and all of that, but some ships specifically have VTOL capability, which will make it different for them.
It'll be funny that if it has an Ursa rover and it's out of it, it can't take off, but if it's empty, it can.
That was another bonus to it, was not only could it have an Ursa rover, but someone did some of the math, /R, they did the math. Someone thinks you can actually fit 2 Ursas in there. There is enough space, but then it's going to block the entryway to one of the rear turrets.
I mean, that's how the Freelancer is. If you have too much cargo in there, you're going to have trouble getting in that rear top turret.
It will not let you overstock the Freelancer's cargo space. Really? Yeah, it gives you just enough room to drop the rear turret down. Yeah. So these are things that they'll have to think about. And I don't know, players, what are they going to do? Are they going to go around just picking up boxes and throw boxes around like hoarders, and just shit stacked everywhere? And who knows?
Red Dawn's just points out the rear turret is a remote turret. Thank you.
Oh.
Is that the co-pilot's task then?
Could be, couldn't it?
I don't know. I didn't see like a lot of they didn't focus on a lot of like seating arrangements in that ship. What's the crew size? 4?
4.
So pilot, co-pilot, and 2 people to jerk off until they need to get into the turrets?
For the man turrets.
Yeah, because I think both of those.
But you're not going to sit in a man turret the whole time you're flying around. You know how friggin' stale that game.
Scanner suite. If it's an exploration ship, it's going to need
you would think
something like that. Yeah. Exploration, Drake. So overall thoughts, Nitro. What do you think of the Corsair overall? Yay or nay?
I'm like iffy on it. Like nothing screams that I like it, but it's also like unique enough that I respect it. But that's about it.
Here's an interesting. Oops, sorry.
I'll get to you last because I know we're going to get a lot from you, whereas Fastcart's just like, sorry.
Yeah,
what do you think, Fastcart?
If I didn't already have an Aquila that has the rover and a snuff fighter on it already, I might be interested in this ship. But I already have an Aquila.
Juntau.
No, I already made my point on that. It's not my thing. It's cool. If you like it, buy it. Buy 5 of them. Give Chris your monies. Just give him your money. If you have the money, buy it, man. Whatever. You know? But there was an interesting point that Desmarius made about how long it will be before the beginning of the exploration game mechanic is in game. Now, that's the question that I have is what the fuck is an exploration game mechanic? How do you mechanize exploration? Other than give people the curiosity to go.
My thing is, I'm thinking that jump points are going to move around. So they're going to have exploration to seek them out and nail them down.
Sure, but that's more cartography than it is exploration. Exploration at its heart is pick up your bag, put it on your back, and start walking. You don't know what's over that hill. Just go.
Or take a cart.
Or take a cart. Well, you know, we could put you in the little red flyer, the radio flyer wagon, and drag your ass up the fucking hill.
Goldbud.
I wouldn't really trust Nitro to pull the wagon, but, you know.
Oh, come on. It'd be fun. I'm going to go super fast.
Nitro just stay with them the stairs.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with that. I wonder what do you think an exploration mechanic looks like?
I mean, like I said, that's my thing about it. Cartography. Just that wormhole. The jump point.
Just like you scan and there's a little blip and you go, oh, let's go see what that looks like.
And then you go through the jump point and see what's on the other side. That's exploration to me.
Yeah, I think that's certainly going to be a big part of it as well. But I think you're going to be going to completely unknown areas of space, finding points of interest. You know, derelict space stations, things like that. And I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you find a derelict space station. It's infested with a load of what were they called? Groin spiders or something.
Like I'm interested in finding like a derelict kingship. A Grandeur kinship or something like that.
I mean, that's how they said, you know, they've considered how players are going to be able to get a Bengal is you find a wrecked Bengal somewhere, you tow it somehow without getting it stolen off you, and then you repair it, and then you're a target for the rest of your life as long as you have that ship.
Yeah, basically.
The Bengal is a lie. It's government propaganda to get you to explore. It's a true story.
Oh, but you were asking about the money. According to the funding goals page, they made $328,000 on the first day, and then $272,000 on the second day. So they're making money. They're making bank.
So a little over $500,000 so far on this concept sale. They need the money. I hate to say it, but they need the fucking money. There's no way around it. They need $2.5 million of income average a month for the next 24 months. Can they do that? Phew.
Well, they have money left over. I mean, saved up, I mean.
Well, my estimates are they got probably like 4 months worth of reserve cash.
As opposed to 90 days.
Well, I think it's not quite 90 days. I think it's more in the 120 days or so. But if everything goes to hell, then everybody just gets laid off, and the people at Winslow continue to make Squadron 42 until it's done, and then they make their bank on that and bring everybody back.
Well, they have like
I mean, that's worst case, best situation.
Right,
well, they have 500 employees, so I'm sure some of them. No, I'm not going to say that.
They'll work for free.
Some of them would work for free, actually.
I believe that.
Put that past them.
I believe that. For a little while, anyway.
Going nuts about exploration because that is the most sought after mechanic. Is exploration, and it's one of the ones that we know very little about. A couple
of years ago, I don't know if that's still the case, but it might still be the case.
No, it's absolutely the case. The community wants to explore this ridiculously vast universe that's only in its smallest little microcosm right now, which is frustrating to the majority of backers, which is why a lot of people don't bother to play.
And it's PvP.
Absolutely right. I think,
they're testing. Yeah, because that's one reason I don't play, because I don't want to burn myself out on the pre-game. I want to save myself fresh for when the game actually launches.
Oh, you're gonna junk out on 3.5 like everybody else.
No, I haven't.
Your ass will be in ArcCorp, in a gray cat.
No.
Where it's not supposed to be.
Maybe I played for a couple of hours. I played for a couple of hours, but like 3.3, I was really interested in 3.3 because I was just after CitizenCon. So, but I didn't do much in 3.4, and probably won't do much. I play around with the character generator for a bit.
Dude, they got hot dog pizza stands and shit. We're just gonna go to ArtCorp, sit around, drink beer, eat pizza, talk shit, just like this, but over VoIP.
And VoIP.
That shit don't work yet, I don't think.
It works a little bit. They did that one guy made a whole. Not Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi. The Rick Astley sing-along thing?
That Facebook videos. David Bowie video.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know Bad News Baron was doing like VoIP karaoke craziness or something like that. Yeah.
That's quite a good idea.
When you're a streamer and you got to come up with something, shit, Yeah. Sitting on the toilet drinking your coffee going, what am I going to do today?
Those poor people, those poor brave souls that stream this game every day, having to come up with new ideas. Yeah, Jesus, God bless them.
And then there's some new streamers with like 1,000 viewers who come up and say, "Oh, let's PvP," and they're like, "This." There are people who thought of doing it in the first place, but no, it's been going up for like 3 years now.
Oh, Rex. Rex has a lot of friends. He's part of like a huge FPS gaming clan too, as far as I'm aware. So he probably brought a lot of his boys in here to go shoot up spaceships and shit.
By the way, I just want to mention that I fixed the Twitch overlay. We are no longer the relay station. We are the base station.
Oh shit! You are in big trouble. Eris is going to be pissed.
Oh, by the way, for people who don't know, this week's episode is called the Uncanney Walley. Shiver, you want to explain why?
No.
Okay.
What?
Coruscant.
What?
That's where you keep your nuclear vessels?
What?
Yeah, like it's near Alameda.
Was doing an episode of Dead Air, and it was the open casket session, and I had Heramus Tofu on, who's not a native English speaker, and we had a good Star Citizen talk, but I couldn't sit there and handle it when he was trying to say the Uncanny Valley, because it was the Uncanny Walley, and he's just said it 3 or 4 times in a row, and I lost it.
Try talking to fucking Norwegians all day, because most of my like daily gaming friends are Norwegian, and they have no V in their vocabulary at all. So every V is a W. You're like, what? It's multiculturalism or whatever.
Yeah.
The multiculturalism that works, though, not like the other one that doesn't, because, yeah. Anyways.
So Coruscant, otherwise known as Area 18, we've had another look at it. They're really hyping it up and showing us the holograms and things. Do you think this tech can be applied elsewhere, and if so, what?
I don't know about that, but I mean, just looking at the picture made me want some death sticks.
We haven't got any questions yet somehow.
Oh.
And you don't want to hear us say.
Link in.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. But as far as the looks of it and stuff like that, I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna miss the old art but the old art was kind of, I mean, for today's standard, it's getting kind of bland because it's been there for what, 2 years now. So yeah, it's in need of an upgrade, and it'll be interesting.
I'm not gonna say.
I just thought about it
at the same time.
Sorry,
come on. A
lot of what we've been seeing of Area 18 is at night, so it's got that like Blade Runner-y feel where all the holograms light everything up.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what it's going to look like in the daytime because of the day-night cycle, because they've been like purposely showing us it at night. So I wonder if it's just going to be like really.
Climate change, it's perpetually dark.
I don't think that's how climate change works.
I love how I'm just breaking everybody's brain when I say that.
Well, it is one giant city, so there could be a layer of smog over the entire planet that dims the sun.
Sure.
Once you come, that would actually be fucking pretty cool, right? To fly through a layer of smog and then all of a sudden, CIG, I just fixed your fucking LOD problem. Come on, make it happen.
Hide the loading screen cool. in the cloud of fog.
In the fog, yeah. That's a great idea.
Literally cloud tech,
right?
We're gonna have procedural clouds.
Yes.
Procedural college.
Clouds.
Clowns?
Yeah.
Procedural clowns.
Do you think the area is far too busy, though? Do you think it's just got too much going on, and then when you suddenly duck out down an alleyway, there's fuck all there? Do you think that's going to ruin things, or do you think that's going to be all right, or do you think that's not going to happen?
I think it's going to be spread out, and I'll tell you, I can't mention any names, but somebody in the know had told me it's easy to get lost. It's like a maze. It's pretty big. It's bigger than what it was.
I believe that.
I get lost on the
sometimes you're right, or the reclaimer, for God's sake. I'm like, what the fuck am I in here?
Fucking Starfarer.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, when they had that in our hangar, I was going around in a circle for 10 minutes going, what the fuck is going on?
I can't find the exit.
Stairs.
I say, I passed this place already. Well, yeah.
Your poor cat, Miles. Oh my God. How would you do that to such an innocent animal? What the?
You touched on the hot dogs and pizza stands, and they're making them in such a way that, you know, as is many things, it's modular to help them have variety, so there's not going to be too many repeats. But do you give a shit? Would you care if there were many repeats, or do you think this is a bit too much?
It depends on how close together the stands are. They're like all identical 4 stands in a row. Yes, I would care, but it's like you know, some variety, like, and they're like close together, then it's less noticeable. But if they're like, you know, a block apart, then maybe I wouldn't notice.
And functionality-wise, probably, most likely, none. Just eye candy. Are you okay with that, or would you like it if you could actually go up and say,
pizza is part of the survival mechanic, my friend. Don't make no mistake. Don't make no mistake. You will need pizza.
It actually bugs me right
now. If you're a Cutlass owner, though, what goes in must come out. And if
yes, and that's why the toilets on the Corsair are bigger.
See, now they're thinking about it.
That actually bothers me in the game right now, that there are all these food vendors and like NPCs that look like you can approach them, and you're like, maybe I could. I hate that in games where they make something that NPCs can walk up to and do stuff, but then you walk up to it and it's just eye candy, and you can't do anything about it. And I know that, like Juntau said, food's gonna be in the game eventually, and it's a mechanic. But yeah, right now I really hope that they make it to where I can go to the Chinese food cart and buy Chinese food, or go to the hot dog cart and buy a hot dog.
Are you going to order a slice of pizza and the guy's going to reach below the thing and get this box?
Yeah.
And set it up on the thing?
I'm worried that the barman AI is going to be too good, that you go in there and he's going to say, "So what's troubling you?" "Oh, I just wanted a fucking drink." Or if you say, "So what's going on around here?" and he just replies, "Why does everyone fucking ask me?"
That's a good question, Bree, because in the future, there will still be McDonald's.
Yeah.
So Starbucks.
Yeah,
and
the
Starbucks.
Fifth Element said so.
Mm-hmm. McDonald's ain't going nowhere.
Mm-mm.
People are addicted to that crap.
I watched this documentary once that was set in a not too distant future, and there were restaurant wars, and it ended up being oh bollocks, what's the name of that taco place that you had?
Taco Bell.
Yeah, and they were the only restaurant left over. It was quite an
Oh
interesting
yeah,
proposition.
It's an immigration problem,
man.
Shiver. You wouldn't understand.
Listen, man.
I got reminded the other day that in Futurama they had the Taco Bellevue Hospital or whatever.
What?
Yeah, no, it was like a gag in Futurama where there was a Taco Bell themed like hospital. And it was like you're born, or your baby, underneath the sign for the hospital it says, "Was your baby born a normal weight? Supersize it for 49 cents." Something like that.
We've got enough time before we move into questions.
No, we don't have that many questions. Ask questions, people.
Subscribers. Anyone here
See,
who's
guys,
still a
these
subscriber?
people think that there's going to be a time limit on this cast. Not so much.
Anyone a subscriber here still?
Yes.
Do you
You are?
feel that what
Yeah.
you're getting from CIG
No.
is enough?
No.
What would you like them to put out? In an ideal world, what sort of information would you like them to be
Wait,
getting out?
weren't we supposed to get like a monthly or quarterly Chris Roberts sit down? Where's that?
I think
I
so.
think we had one in January.
What?
Did we?
No,
No.
not a sit down. But he was on ATV.
Oh yeah, he read fucking Jared's script. That's great. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Ah, okay.
Okay, you know what was good? Aaron on RTV, the 15, 18-minute intro to RTV, like whatever it was, weeks ago now. That was good. That's the shit that the backers want. They do, and we like the eye candy. I like the eye candy. I like it when they showed caves and ships being developed and fucking flora and fauna and all that stuff. That's cool. But don't you want to hear from the guys at the top, the women at the top? No?
Yeah,
I just want to hear more.
What the fuck kind of response is that?
I want to hear more, I want some more information. I mean, when just a couple of years ago, we were getting, well, we've just released this patch, and these were the problems that we had, and these were how we overcome them. And I know that's not for everyone, but
I
I
love
want to
Wood
hear
Clips.
that.
I miss
Sean?
Wood Clips.
Sean, Brian, Aaron, Chris, Tony,
Just
a handful
Tony
of
by himself.
other people. You have one a month. You have 12 people that the community will just be like,
Yeah,
with
I
fucking
honestly,
drool.
I miss the like 40-minute long ATVs where there would be like a 15-minute long section where, one of them would just sit and talk at the camera, like B-roll or not. But yeah, it was like my tradition on Thursdays was to come home from class and get dinner and then just sit at my computer and watch ATV while I ate. It was like my dinner entertainment. So
Christ, I mean, when I first started as a backer, it would be like, so what have CIG put out that I can watch this week? And then Friday nights you had TNGS, and it was fucking entertaining.
Yeah.
That was like a proper program.
Yep. I totally forgot that. Yeah, about TNGS.
I think the problem happened was during before CitizenCon, Chris Roberts asked for $20 for the stream, and we didn't give it to him. So it's all your fault. It's all your fault that we don't have more TV, more.
Is that what that is? This is punishment for being bad children. You were my followers. Showed your disloyalty to my teachings.
Old content. Do you guys remember Helmet Flip? When are they going to bring back Helmet Flip?
I talked about that last week.
Oh, really? I want Helmet Flip to come back.
Well, I'm just glad that you've still got that attitude, because it was stupid things like that came out of presentations that we were all so fucking hyped. We would be like, helmet, and now it's like, where's my stuff?
I was in chat. I remember being in chat, like, chanting helmet when that happened.
You just couldn't help it. You were caught up in it as well. Yeah. You were like, yeah, I fucking love that helmet. I fucking want to see the fucking helmet again. Give me more fucking helmet.
Right.
Sexily.
It was a big deal.
And then the game crashed, and then we actually got to see the helmet flip again because Chris Roberts had to like redo everything. So I'm sorry, the game didn't crash. Chris Roberts crashed.
And now we're at the state where it's like every week, one of us, at least on this podcast, is going to say, do you feel like you're getting enough value for money with your subscription? You see, look at the enthusiasm from you three for that.
Wait, I'm not a subscriber.
To be honest, I've only subscribed for like 14 months. And I only subscribe when they have like a subscriber flare that I particularly want. Or like,
okay. So, Super Serious says, I like when they make proper programs, but that's actual work. Something people dedicated to making do full time. They can't keep doing that to developers who also have a job. And I absolutely agree with that. But here's the point. Do the math. Just do the simple math. Subscriber money was specifically supposed to be for community engagement content. Mm-hmm. That's what it was for. If it's changed, please let us know that it's changed. And then let everybody make a determination on whether they choose to continue to subscribe. Now, if you do some simple math, and let's just say that everybody has multiple accounts. So there's actually only like 1 million backers. And 10% of those people subscribe. So what is the math on 10,000 times 10? It's $100,000 a month. They have 2 tiers of subscriptions. So split the difference. Let's do fuzzy math here. Say 5,000 at 10 and 5,000 at 20. It's about 20 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Or $200,000 a month. $200,000 a month is a big budget for video.
And how much of that is for salary?
Are they not already on?
How many people are they paying? Jerry probably gets 50 grand.
Six, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to
say this project isn't being done to make anyone rich, as far as we can see. Anyway, a lot of these people are working for minimum wage because it's a passion project.
Mm-hmm. And like to argue against,
you only need to buy the equipment once, maybe twice if something breaks.
And to argue
it
against,
just comes down to time.
The fact that their developers have to be doing their job, they can't be making videos all the time. That was why they did the Office rotation where ATV one week was
I missed those.
Yeah, like ATV one week was Texas, and then ATV another week was LA, and then Manchester and whatnot. So
it was good. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And they always had the producers doing it. And you know what producers do? Nothing. They make schedules for other people to do work. That's what they do.
Yeah, I'm producing this podcast right now, and I'm not doing anything.
Exactly. So Grit Splitter said the CIG financials showed $3 million a year in subscriber money.
Wow.
A year, so divide that by 12.
So now that you already have all the updated cameras, because they got updated cameras back when the movie guy was doing their video editing. What the fuck was that cat's name? He was cool. I liked him.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Tom Hennessy.
Tom, when he was there, they updated all their cameras. They updated all their headphones. They got the Audio Technica broadcasters that don't pick up all the echo in the room, right? What else?
Juntau,
They already have computers.
You were close. That would be $250,000 a month.
I know I was close.
Yeah.
He doesn't even say thank you. He's like, I know I was close.
Well, I don't know if you guys think that I like walked out of the fucking beet fields of Michigan or some shit like that, you know, but fuck.
I mean, no,
So
as someone
I'm
that's
slowly working out the Juntau language here. Most of it is code for fuck you.
Well, I was told to try to not be so rude. So
I didn't say that.
Well, just in general, because like Rico was like, dude, you need to tone it down a little bit. So instead of telling everybody to fuck off, I have to find a more pleasant way of telling everybody to fuck off. But
that's what we're here for.
It's working out.
And I'm just saying, conservatively speaking, if they're pulling down $200,000 a month, I mean, that seems like a lot of money to produce video content.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I could tell you this: most of us subscribers don't give a fuck about Flare.
The other thing is, they also use subscriber money for CitizenCon, so that part of the budget is there for that also.
I'll tell you one thing about that, right? The whole CitizenCon fiasco that went down. If it would have been the money one, the pay-per-view bullshit thing. If that shit would have been presented ahead of time in a professional manner with a good explanation of why, it probably would have happened.
I mean, almost everyone agrees with that. Yeah, no one argues with that.
So that last minute fucking what everybody appeared to be like a fuck you to all the streamers, because that's what most of my streamer friends are like. Yeah, they just wanted to lock us out. Well, yeah. Fuck you. You're not making the game. They're making the game.
Bree in chat, like, I understand, like, because Juntau was saying that equipment is investment. Like, they already have the video equipment to produce this video content. And then, employee benefits and salary, that's only going to go to the people whose job is specifically to making the video content. It's not going to pay for the benefits and salary of the guy that's working on the physics engine. It's going to be the cameraman and the editor and stuff like that. And I mean, also the space to be able to film and all that stuff. That was just them, buying the building that they work in and having an extra space. I don't really think that.
Right. All that investment's already been made.
Exactly.
So now it's just paying the salaries. So if you're paying everybody, let's just say you're paying everybody crazy, you're paying them $75,000 a year to work in a video game company to produce community content. There's still like 4 people easy. Yeah. 4 people should be able to get a shit ton of, the team I have is 10 guys and we're expected to do a lot. A lot. More than what you could literally do in 8 hours. And we do more than what normal people can do in 8 hours because that's the expectation. And what you don't get done, you bring home and you fucking finish.
I think Method has just hit on something that, I think a lot of us have been thinking. One thing he found odd was the lack of any redundancy in the community team. The long quiet when Disco was on a break. It seems that someone could have done something.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, yes.
I don't think anyone is.
I blame Tyler.
Saying, yeah.
Where was Tyler?
I don't think anyone's here pointing fingers at.
I am. He was all like wearing flip flops and shorts and Hawaiian shirts and shit, playing with his models in the Austin office. He could have been on there. Oh yeah, you Xylo, I'm talking to you.
I still love you, Tyler.
The views of Juntau did not represent. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I'd have loved you more if you would have talked to what's his nuts from Legal and let you come on the stupid podcast.
Yeah, that was something we talked about last week. Is we haven't had anyone from CIG on.
I can't get
ages. Yeah, we've done that. We've done through the hoops. We've approached people, but we're gonna have to do something on that because it's too much quiet.
Jay Lee committed to me. Kyron Davis committed to me.
Oh wow, really? Okay.
Xylo committed to me. And their marketing press guy was like, you don't offer us anything. Fuck off. And I said, wow, I like you. I need you fucking people on my show, you bastard. Come on.
I'll just round that off with Juntau, as a fellow subscriber, would you recommend subscribing to another backer right now? Would you say it's worth it?
Well, if you have the money. It's all if you have the money, right? You're not getting. I mean, if you want a brown spacesuit, rust colored spacesuit, then okay. You know, or get a friend that subscribes. I think so. The rust set. Yeah.
Oh my god. And I thought the gold one was dumb.
And don't forget, if you do subscribe for 12 months, you do get a discount coupon at the end. So you're getting some of your money back. Yeah, but that's
all the fucking subscription is now, is, you know, I get a bit of hanger flair, and for spending some money, I get the privilege of spending more money.
And that's the point. The whole point of the subs was to get content out of them, to get information out of them. I ain't paying them for information. Now, whatever, are they doing the best they can? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not there. So I'm not passing judgment. I'm just saying I'm not getting what I paid for, and I'm still paying for it. Why? Because I'm a fucking idiot, apparently.
I think if this data started out at this level that they're giving us, we would be okay with it. But they started out but you know, we had a show like every day of the week, 5 days a week. Now we only get like 2 shows a week. So I think people are feeling like they're getting not ripped off, but they're not getting their money's worth.
Well, not to be sexist about it, but everybody's blue-balled. I mean, unless you're female, then you don't have that problem, but you still have some sort of like separation anxiety issue over the whole thing if you're really into the CIG content, which a lot of girls that I talked to were. You know, they loved that shit. And wasn't it 4 days a week?
Yeah.
Solid. 4 days a week.
I mean, I don't play the game or test the game or whatever you want to call it very often, unless like a new patch comes out and I'm like, I want to go look at all the new features. And then after a week, I'm just like, cool, I'll wait till the next patch now. So all the content was like my feed into the community, the thing that like I stayed drip fed on to stay interested. And yeah, like ATV and RTV just isn't enough for me because I don't watch RTV. That's an hour of people talking that I'll just read on Relay. Because I just don't feel like spending an hour listening to them talk about one thing. I'd rather watch 15 minutes of them talking about 5 things.
Even when it was Ben and, you know, the regular crew, Jared and...
That was actually the last time I watched RTV, was back when Ben was on it. It was
fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was more personal.
It was really informal.
Yeah.
And it was fun. You know, off the cuff, it had Dustin Chambers, the money hat guy, and you know the whole crew. That was really fun.
I miss Money Hat guy.
He's still there editing the videos.
Yeah, he's still there.
No, I know. I just miss seeing him. Yeah.
But now it's like, you know, we want to go on stream.
No, they took on this attitude that they needed to present this professional corporatist bullshit. And the majority of the backers, like the current backers, you know, and I get it, you need to produce content that appeals to people outside of the group of backers that you have already, right? So don't you think you need to have a little bit of balance there? And give the current backers, who a lot of people spent a lot of money on the fluff that they're looking for, and then have your fucking marketing stuff that's directed towards trying to suck the wallets dry of some new victims? I would think.
Absolutely.
I mean, that would be me if I was sitting in a boardroom table with these guys. That would be my argument at every meeting, was how are we going to balance this? But
absolutely agree.
As long as they make their forecasted budget, fuck you. That's the way fucking corporatism. That's the way corporatism works. We made our budget. Fuck you.
Mhm.
Don't care what you want. Oh, but here's a ship to buy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mario said Juntau for president.
Fuck
That's two
that.
people who have said that to you now, Juntau.
Yeah, that's you guys are all.
Nothing. Silver doesn't do that anymore.
What, suck really tiny cocks?
Yeah. I got
Let's
a couple
move on
in
to
my
questions.
organization for sure.
George P. 357, that's a good name. What do you think the Aegis tease is about?
A carrier.
that'd be cool.
A fucking $27,000 carrier.
That's
Better
more
dip into my
expensive than the
savings.
No, don't be. I don't know what they're going to do with this current go round, but don't be mistaken. Anvil or Aegis is going to announce a competitor to the Kraken soon.
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, an
Oh, yeah.
anvil, an anvil, just capital ship would be sweet.
I don't know.
Who's the Polaris? Oh, the Polaris is RSI, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be. I'm not expecting a big ship, but
I
I don't
mean,
know.
No?
I won't buy it.
No more combat ships, please. No more fucking.
Yeah, no more car. I agree wholeheartedly. But I mean, if it's Aegis, it's got to be combat. Well, it doesn't have to be, but it's most likely combat.
Combat or combat support, one or the other.
Yeah.
I hope it's not a mine layer.
Hugh Jazz. Great name.
That took a second. Click.
When do you think we'll get the 3.5.5 patch with the rest of the 300i variants?
3 weeks after 3.5 drops.
That's reasonable.
2
or 3 weeks, yeah.
3 weeks.
Nitro,
And 3.5 isn't going to go live until the end of the first week of April. It isn't going to make the quarter deadline like the other one didn't.
I actually missed part of the question, Shiv. Did you say the 3 point? What did you say?
The 300 variants and 3.5.5 or whatever the incremental patches that they're going to drop those variants.
I didn't know that they weren't going to be in. Just
they're not ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 300 series is out. It will be out.
Yeah.
So you'll get that, and they're going to pull all the existing 315s, 325s, 350s out of the game, and everybody's going to fly the 300 or will have the ability to fly the 300 that owns any one of the 300 variants.
I actually
have a related question. Do you think they're going to add $5 to the cost of all the 300 series? Like
$5?
$5 or $10?
How about 50?
For
I
300?
doubt 50.
Yeah, not for
Because they're
300.
still considered starter ships.
It's the Mercedes Benz of spaceships, boy. You got.
I mean, you got a
Premium
point,
on it.
It's Origin, but yeah, that's too much of a premium.
I mean, so
They're
is
not Mercedes-Benz.
so is Consolidated Outlands, because those are supposed to be like the Tesla, because it's
And did
fucking
the
Elon
Mustang
Musk.
They make
prices
my
go up
Pioneer?
with the rework?
Yeah, they made the
What's that?
Pioneer.
What?
Did Mustang prices go up when the rework came out?
No, I don't
no.
think so.
Mm-mm.
But then I suppose the equivalent of the Mustang series would be the 100i.
100,
Yes.
I mean, it's a decent bet to say the 300 series will go up in price, and if it doesn't, it's a nice bonus, but probably will.
I'm thinking
A little
about
bit.
$5 or $10, but I don't think I'm in 50. That's way too much.
Yeah, I definitely think
Because, I
the
mean,
price
Way
will go
too
up.
much.
I
If
mean,
you look at the prices on the store, way too much.
The Aquila only went up like what? 45? 35?
75. It was
275.
275 and it's 325 now or 350.
I didn't realize
$330.
that was that much.
It was 275, then it went to 310. So it's $35.
Taurus is the cheap one of the Connies.
Yeah, no,
The
I know,
Aquila's
but
quite dear.
I didn't think that the any of the constellations were that expensive.
Phoenix.
Yeah, well, the Phoenix is 350.
Well, yeah, the Phoenix, yeah, that one.
Yeah, but it's got a hot tub, ladies.
And a piano.
Did you see the
And a piano.
screenings of the water?
I have not.
The leaks? Oh,
No.
water in spaceships, dude.
I try to stay free from the leaks, but that's just
Fuck.
Is that on
I
the link
won't-
subreddit?
I won't post it. It's on the leak subreddit.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll go look at it
So,
later.
I'm think It was the
Started
890
as an
jump.
underscore leaks, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the 890 jump showed the water bubbling and shit. I don't know how
That's
to.
nice.
Oh, dude.
See, that's why I was a bit confused about the 300 series not being in 3.5, because I've seen screenshots of the variants.
Yeah. Right.
And so I thought that they were going to be in the initial patch.
No, they're gonna put the baseline model, and then they're gonna save the variant for a little bit.
Yeah, that was in the weekly update or something like that, the newsletter or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
George P357. If you could pick anything, what would you want the Aegis to be, Juntau?
Carrier.
Nitro.
A repair bay. I don't know.
Like the Crucible?
Yeah, like a Crucible, but bigger.
A mini Crucible. Or is it not the Vulture? No, that's the Salvager.
Oh, are we not talking about like another Aegis capital ship?
Well, another Aegis, whatever you would like it to
whatever
be.
you want the Aegis to be.
Oh, then no, never mind, because they already have the Vulcan. So, yeah, like a carrier would be cool.
Fastcart.
A miner to compete with the.
You bastard.
I took your answer.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Okay.
Fine. Two
I'm
miners, two
confused.
carriers.
I'm confused. Ash says Aegis already has a carrier.
I think that
Do they?
they might be talking about the Idris, but it's not
the
like
Idris.
a full-blown carrier.
It's not
Oh, it's
dedicated,
big.
is it?
No.
Yeah.
It
It's
just
a
has
patrol boat.
Yeah, it's got a good amount of like ship spaces to put fighters in, but it's not
Who
a
makes the
carrier.
Pegasus?
I think that might be RSI.
That sounds right, but I have to look it up.
That
I
was
think-
gorgeous
Someone
ship
in
that we've
chat
not heard
probably
about
know.
again.
I think anything like Bengal and up is all RSI.
I thought the Bengal was joint venture between RSI and maybe Aegis.
Maybe, yeah.
That sounds right.
Here's a link for the ship matrix. It had all the manufacturers and ships in it.
George P357. When do you think we will see what the Aegis tease is?
When they need the money.
Yeah. I mean, we just got a concept ship, so next month.
You
April
like
1st.
that?
April 1st.
It is far too close to that Drake ship is a little bit expensive, and the people who would have bought that ship are people who have got the disposable income to do it, and if they suddenly bring out another big ship, those people are going to
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's probably not a big ship, but I don't know.
Well, they do
do
the
concepts?
wording in it. A big tease, a big announcement coming soon.
I'd
Don't
say,
they do concepts about every 2 months?
I think it's like
They
6
try to,
weeks.
I think, yeah.
I think it's every month this year.
I think Jared at some point said it's like a 6-week cycle or something like that.
Oh, it's going to be a bicycle.
Oh, nice. Also, somebody mentioned the Javelin. I always forget about the Javelin.
But the
Harris
Jav is a
Crodum-
destroyer, so it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's another
Harris
like, big-
Crodum, do you think physicalized inventories will be welcomed or rejected when implemented, considering it will drastically slow down gameplay? That's a good question.
It's going to be
You want my
clunky.
honest?
Define
Always,
physicalized inventory.
Juntau.
Define physicalized inventory.
Have you played Kingdom Come Deliverance?
If you set a gun in one ship, it stays in that ship until you retrieve it from that ship. If you leave that ship, that gun stays with that ship wherever you left it. My answer would be, I don't give a fuck what anybody likes and doesn't like. It needs to be a thing. The magic bag of holding cannot be a fucking thing.
Yeah.
So
You get a lot of posts saying, I fucking hate this, and then people will either adapt or not play.
Yeah.
you can send all of your hate mail to thebasepirate@gmail.com, and I will be sure to promptly answer you.
And by promptly answer, you're going to set up an auto email that just responds with "fuck your opinion."
Fuck you! Facts don't care about your feelings.
But no, like I completely agree with Juntau where
I don't think Relay Days never going to be streamed after this show.
No, it's not.
I don't think I'll be allowed back after this show.
You might not be allowed to cast on this channel anymore.
But yeah, no, I totally agree with Juntau with the fact that it's needed, like, because the magic bag of holding makes no sense. Like, right now we're not playing a space sim, we're playing Doom Guy flies spaceships. But it's going to be clunky. They're not going to get it right the first time. And like, people are going to be very opinionated about it. So
yes, but think about the gameplay implications.
Mm-hmm.
You need to think. It's not Apex Legends.
Yeah.
It's you don't just drop in and pick up guns and start shooting everybody around you.
To be fair, though,
plan.
Apex Legends has a better, like a more realistic inventory system than Star Citizen does right now, because you have a limited amount of space that you can use, and then of course you can find backpacks that are bigger than the ones you have, and that lets you store more. So,
I mean, it's like armor. Armor has physicalized inventory, and it matters what layers of clothing you use. They don't use clothing layers, but it matters what items you use for storage, and then you've got to fit those things in your inventory that have an actual physical basis, and these are actual in-game physical items. So in Star Citizen, if you've got the equivalent of a backpack, you will actually have your character go into his backpack, bring out this thing, and so on, and it's like exactly like Juntau says, it is for tactical situations. It is to make you think more before you just go out there and you shove all these massive guns up your ass or something,
and
like every other FPS.
I've never really.
I'm
a big FPS Twitch shooter player, so I don't play a lot of games that have inventory systems. But the one thing I think about that kind of shows it off a bit is something like Resident Evil 2, especially now that it's been remade and it's out now, is like different items. Like, I mean, it's still like a square inventory system where each thing takes up a slot, not like a physical space. But every item takes up takes up different amounts of slots. So your pistol may take up one slot, but a shotgun takes up 3 because it's huge. So, and you only have a certain amount of slots. So you got to kind of think of what you're bringing before you go to it. It's like prepping before a mission. So it's like, oh, I might need a pistol, but if I bring a pistol, then I won't be able to pack a grenade, and a grenade might come in handy, and this and that. So,
Shiver, I think we have 13 slots, right?
I think that's only for something that goes on your back, or just in the rear in general.
Okay.
2 things. Professor Gain is new here. Say hello.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hi, Professor Gain.
And then Ash, I completely agree that Apex fails, but if somebody else comes around this cast in a little while, there's going to be a fight, because I say F that game.
And yeah, I have no opinions about the game. I just I wanted to make the joke that it currently has a better inventory system than Star Citizen.
Well, there's a lot of games that have a lot better things across the spectrum of gaming in general than Star Citizen does, but it's the Star Citizen right now is a game for people who have foresight to see where something is going, and be able to say, okay, down the road, kind of like when you put money into a retirement fund. Well, I got all this money, but it does me no good. But later, it should be helpful.
Except you don't get that money back.
Some of it you don't. Like Star Citizen, you don't get any of the money back.
Right.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Greek asked a question that I think I can answer, actually. Tony Z mentioned a long time ago that subsumption AI was complete. Is server-side OCS holding it back from being implemented in the PU or something else? Something else. You haven't quite understood his wording on that. He doesn't word things very well necessarily. the tech is there for subsumption system to be put in. So the system is complete. The actual structuring, the way it's going to work, is not. So it's like, okay, we've got this subsumption tech. Now we need to make the behaviors for the barman. How is the barman going to behave? And that gets put into the subsumption tech. So it's a bit of a strange wording on Tony's behalf there. But it's there to be starting to be used, and they don't have to fuck around and say, oh shit, we can't have the barman serve a drink because we didn't program the AI subsumption.
Well, you're saying it's like a behavioral management system.
Think of it like a tree, a behavioral tree. It's like, it starts off, barman greets player. Player ignores, nothing happens. Player says something, and then it's like, offer drink, offer whatever, offer food, and then it just branches like that. It's all an AI system really is. It's just, ones and zeros. Yeah, in effect.
That's all we really are ones and zeros.
That's deep, man. Triton asks, I'm very sorry. Triton asks, are Imperium even still relevant?
Nope.
Nice and easy.
Go ahead.
Can he speak? What are Nitro's thoughts?
What? Oh, I'm just sitting here trying to make a few. I'm trying not to make a few untasteful jokes. And I'm also just sitting here. Yeah,
those are the best ones, though.
I know, but I'm not on the base, so I don't want to make any jokes that might get me in trouble.
Who owns this shit show?
Well, mostly we take it over Relay. So go ahead.
This is like the pirate radio version of the Relay Station, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't.
Well, no, I mean, Juntau said that we're all ones and zeros, and I was going to say, actually, I'm non-binary. So.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
While we have your attention, Nitro, thank you very much for doing the tech this week.
Oh,
if it
no
weren't
problem.
For you, we wouldn't be able to do this, so thank you.
I want to apologize to everybody in chat for the cameras being all slow and laggy, but that's Discord's fault. I have no idea what's going on there. So.
That's not true. It's because he's cheap and he uses OBS.
I mean, yeah, but I can stream things at 1080p 60 FPS on OBS just fine. But Discord's cameras are crap.
Something with the codec update effed it all up. We don't use it on the base radio anymore. We use Zoom, but I pay a lot of money for fucking Zoom.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I could probably use Zoom also.
Zoom's also nice because you can, like, take the camera straight, like the camera input straight out. It presents a DLL that you can put right into your. Whereas I just have to capture the Discord window and crop it down.
Resize it. Yeah.
Old school.
Dirk says he's sexadecimal. That's funny. Sexadecimal.
I was going to say hexadecimal.
I like
it. Yeah, that's even better.
The legendary Desmarius asks, obviously subscriptions are what are used to pay for community content for backers. Wasn't the original premise to keep the community informed before the subscription content was ever enacted?
Yes.
That's before my time.
It's been so long.
I think he's asking, wasn't it basically if they're going to fuck around with the community subscription content, they're going to tell us?
They have. That's like a week before, they changed it.
Yeah. No, he told us what was actually said was there's changes coming to the community content and we don't know what we're going to be doing, but we'll be doing something. And
how long ago was that?
That was before the end of the year.
December.
And then somebody went on vacation for 30 days and never really came back.
I know what that feels like when you go away for a month and come back and nothing's happened.
Like, everything's just the way I left it. This is bullshit.
So Elon's not Musk has asked the horrible question that I wanted to avoid of, so how about that roadmap?
I posted links.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that. I tend to not look at the roadmap because it just gets, well, that's gone up by 5%. That hasn't moved. That's gone up by 3%. And then,
are we talking about the 3.5 roadmap or the roadmap in general?
The roadmap.
Probably both.
The roadmap in general is a great fucking thing for the community.
Oh yeah,
It is.
And the 3.5 roadmap surprised me that more things are done than I thought were going to be done.
I put it on Twitch.
a couple of weeks ago, seeing that the DNA system and the female characters are at like 100% on the roadmap, I was like, wow, that's much sooner than I thought it would be.
I agree.
Like, those are big systems, especially the DNA one. So
it is a
We've
bit of a
just said-
placebo, yes.
It is, isn't it? In many ways.
I mean, but it
because
helps.
You've got something to look at. Well, the placebo does. And then, they could just leave the roadmap update and it's like, oh, that hasn't updated. And then the week before the patch is due, bam. 90%.
And that's kind of what happened.
So it's a good guideline, by all means.
It's just supposed to
don't
let
tend
you
to
know
look
what they're
at the
working on, though. It's not supposed to let you know exactly what they're doing or where they're at in the process, even though it's presented that way. It's just supposed to say, hey, for this patch, this is our goal.
it's giving us a loading bar, whereas before we didn't have one. Like we
didn't have any idea what the hell was going on at all.
Yeah, because like before it's like 3.5's coming out, and a few months would go by, and all of a sudden maybe you'd hear, oh, it's on Evocati, and then a few weeks later they're like, oh, it's on PTU, and that's when it would explode with 3.5's here. But now it's like 3.5's coming out. We got this part done and this part done, and we're starting to work on this, and this is 50% done. So it's literally giving us a loading bar that we can sit and stare at as it's going.
I'm going to do myself a disservice and, explain something I'm probably certain. But yesterday when we got the newsletter, it said PTU wave warming. And I thought it meant that it was already out.
So did I.
So it wasn't just me?
No, I looked at the newsletter thing and it said PTU 3.5 and I was like, oh, okay. So I went and checked my account and I don't have it.
And
maybe somebody has it.
I think it's still Evo's, isn't it?
Well, it says Evo's on 3.5E.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but they don't tell us as much as they should, those damn NDA bastards.
Method has it. That newsletter was a total tease.
Yeah,
I think so.
3.5E got leaked an hour ago. So.
And then I blame Tyler for that too.
So let's see. DNA face customization done. Mission giver Pachiko 87%. Playable female characters up 2% to 94%. I've always found that strange. It's like they're 94% done, so it's like they got one arm, two legs.
Yeah, I don't know what the 94% means, because like
I suppose it would be like, it's not just the rig; it's got to be fully animated and fully working.
Right. There's probably a few animations that don't work, but yeah, because like I've seen pictures of the female character model, and it looks great. And like I don't mean
really
like no, it's like actual players playing the female model on ArtCorp. It looks great.
This will be borderline sexist, I guess, but have you seen the gif of the female character running through ArtCorp?
No.
Oh,
no.
Man.
Juntau enjoyed it, I take.
She's fine.
I saw a leak picture of one of the females, and I was like, that doesn't look as good as every other character. The face was bland, very lacking in detail. That's what I thought.
Like I said, I've been staying away from the leaks.
Well, I keep an eye on, because I run a lot of the Twitter stuff for the base, so I keep an eye on hashtag Star Citizen. And people have been posting a lot of leaks on there, videos and photos. So,
here's my question: if people post leaks, don't they lose their access? Or
the people that are posting them are not NDA'd. They're getting the information from someone who is NDA'd,
or they're just browsing on the issue council.
So, unless Google wants to pair up with CIG to track down all these IP addresses because they know exactly who's posting what, where, when, how. Google does everything. it's all stored on a database, all searchable.
I'll
Then
quickly skim through 3.5 the changes. Area 18 landing zone up 18% to 100%. Basic gunship behavior up 50% to 100%. FPS collision avoidance V2 stayed the same at 67%. Star Marine, Demian comms and quality of life improvements up to 100%. System heat up 23% to 100% complete. AI bounty hunting in environmental missions complete. Vehicle scanning HUD improvements up 23% to be complete. Basically, most of these things, quantum travel complete, vehicle scanning improvements complete. It's all coming together, apart from the 300 series, which is going to be delayed. It's coming together, and it's going to be... I think it's fair to say that Wave 1, at the very least, is going to be very soon next week.
Yeah.
PTU.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asynchronous disconnection refactor, however, which is quite an important one, has stayed the same at 36%. Async, yeah. That can be tricky. Networking, async, disconnection is probably a different kind of asynchronous thing that I'm thinking of, but...
Asynchronous, is that like the Drake Corsair where it's got 2 wings on one side and 1 wing on the other?
I was thinking the same thing, Nitro.
No.
Heramus, how about an episode about R&D projects which doesn't go into the game?
Oh, that'd be interesting. Like, just a show where they talk about stuff that they
all the shit
up.
they tried.
Yeah, like things that they brought up in a boardroom, and then they go through all the reasons why they couldn't do it or why it wouldn't work, because if they didn't do that, then everyone would flip out.
Like that one Citizen Con where they wanted to do that thing, but they had their episode or why they couldn't. The road to Citizen Con.
Yeah, because like they would totally have to sit and talk about all the reasons why it wouldn't work and why they didn't do it. Because if they were just like, oh yeah, we were thinking about like making a ship that looked like a helicopter with like rotating blades and all that. And everybody'd be like, oh, that was awesome. Why didn't they do that? Well, it's because, like, that's really hard.
Here's why they're not going to do that. DNA customization, CitizenCon last year was specifically spoken to, where, oh my God, I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. One of the German engineers.
Yeah.
What's that?
German. No, never mind.
Yeah, one of the German engineers was talking about they couldn't do it. They just couldn't fucking get it to work, and they gave up on it. You remember that? And he's like, Ivan or Ivik. Hertz.
No, it's Ivo.
Evo.
Yeah, or Evo. Yeah.
Brian calls him Evo.
Yeah, because it's
like Neo,
spelled
but
with
it's
an
not.
I, but it's pronounced E.
So, anyways, he says, I couldn't get it to work. I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I can't handle this. Too much bullshit. And then one day he's sitting on the toilet, taking a big hefty shit, drinking a cup of tea, and he's like, got it. Books to work, code some shit out, and it's fucking working. And he's like, damn.
He needs to take it up more often.
You guys laugh, but like
everybody's best ideas come to them when they're taking a shit. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah, you guys laugh.
Next time you're walking on a procedural planet, remember this was the result of someone sat on the toilet.
It's a true story.
That's why we have server wipes. You see.
That's some kind of uncanny Walley right there.
Bryce Arana asks, if a ship has the capacity to carry more than one ship internally with all the features to support that endeavor, does it not meet the very low requirements to be called a carrier?
I missed the first part of that question.
If a ship can carry a ship, why is it not carrier?
I mean,
it is technically.
Yeah.
I think it has to be more than one ship to be a carrier, but I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, the whole series are going to have those containers where they can carry things like Auroras and stuff to ship dealerships. Does that mean that the hull is a carrier? Even though
No, because you can't launch the ships out of the box, can you?
well, it's not a launcher; it's a carrier.
It's a transport.
Transport, that's it. Thank you.
Transport, carry, same thing.
Not really.
See, in America, we call them car carriers. In Britain, they call them vehicle transports because they speak proper English and we do not. So,
I mean, I don't think any part of the internet speaks proper English either. So,
well, y'all needs to get you some education.
everybody
more Ben
knows I
Shapiro.
can't read.
Heramus asks, what
I'm
do
gonna
you
say
all
something,
think
that's okay.
if CIG would talk more about the mistakes and hurdles they make along the development?
I loved
Is that-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, are they not doing
They've
a
done it.
making of Star Citizen, like, documentary that's going to be released at some point?
In theory,
How long do you think that documentary is going to be, though?
4
42
years. It'll be like Game of Thrones. It'll be a huge fucking series.
No, guys,
I was thinking maybe they have like an hour for each year that they've been in development.
so
If
what
that.
you're saying
I
it's
mean,
it's going to be the length of the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
extended
Extended
edition.
edition.
Yeah, the
The
extended edition.
yeah.
12
be.
hours.
You know what's savage is fuckers would watch it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't do it in one
I'm
sitting, but
looking forward to it.
I'd
Dude,
watch
go
it in
all
chunks.
the way back to the days of Wingman's fucking hangar.
Yeah, that's when I joined. When
See,
Yes.
right now I'm getting like the fuzzy wave going down the screen. My field of vision back in the day.
Shiv, don't you have like a harp sound effect you can play?
I didn't like the sound effect because I genuinely thought we'd do a serious podcast this week.
This
you're
is serious.
That's true, yeah. I mean, we haven't really had as much to talk about on Relay Station for a while as this week, and I bet Eris is kicking himself because he's like, I wanted to talk about Star Citizen the past week, and he hasn't really had much of a chance.
What? 3.5 is coming. 3.5 is coming. 3.5 is coming.
Quayhem
Okay.
asks, is CitizenCon in UK this year, and are you going to go?
Most
It's
likely,
around
and
the
no.
block.
Supposed to be a no.
No. No for
So
going.
I've heard it
I don't know
might
about
be.
UK.
And yes, maybe.
See,
Bring the wife, put her in the play area.
I don't think it would be.
Otherwise-
I want to go to CitizenCon, and I really don't think it would be that hard
so bad.
to go. But it's at just such a weird time in the year. Like,
And hopefully this time it won't be on a freaking Wednesday. Put it on the weekend.
yeah, like I was super tempted to go this year because, it was
year.
last year, because it was in Texas. But then they announced that it was on a Wednesday, and I'm a full-time
Yeah,
college
that's screwed up.
student.
That's
I
screwed up
can't
by a
take
lot
a
of people.
Wednesday off.
I'm surprised they got
October
as many
10th this
people. As
year.
they had like 1,700 people, and that was a pretty good number for a
Mhm.
Wednesday.
Thank you very much, Carbide Ed.
I do the way.
Juntau got too much self-respect to wave.
No,
I'm
Shiv, you're.
physically incapable.
I was gonna say you're the host. You have to do the wave.
I could do half a wave and like, Oh,
What's wrong with you? What did your
so
other? What did your other
That was
arm
so
do?
bad.
I can't move my shoulder like that. I have scoliosis, dude.
That's true. Yeah.
October 10th this year is on a Thursday.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but they're gonna hopefully they'll put it on the weekend before or after, or maybe they do like the year that 1 year they had it like 2 weeks after on October 28th.
True.
Well, the issue with the Wednesday thing was conflict with Austin.
Yeah, but they couldn't just
It was
do it
right in
on-
the middle of the
on-
goddamn music festival, dude.
Yeah, but they could have done it on October 28th like they did the year before that.
The last CitizenCon in the UK was done on the same night as a football match. I don't follow the football. I was completely unaware of this, so I had to catch a train back. And they had to get a special train just for all the extra people combined of coming back from a football match, which is extremely motherfucking popular here, and CitizenCon. And I have never been so intimate with a train before in my life, even in Japan.
I was gonna say you've been to Japan.
Yeah, yeah. You don't mind it so much in Japan because you get all these other people touching you and you're like, oh, it's the most attention I've had.
Yes, they could have done it in another city, Ash, but there's so many things that go into coordinating an event, logistics, cost, all this stuff. You know, could they have gotten a venue on a different day? Probably. Would the price have been more? Maybe. Could it have been in a different city? Maybe. Could it have costed more to do it? Maybe. Who knows?
I actually didn't know that that the Austin Music Festival was happening at that time. I actually, what I heard, it was the fact that it was going to cost more if they did it on the weekend.
I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have costed everybody else. Not that it was cheap for people to go there to stay just to do CitizenCon, because I had a lot of people freaking Airbnb that bullshit, and it was expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And I got 3 kids that all have top-end gaming computers and, you know, expensive tastes and shit. I can't afford that stuff, man. They need to bring that shit to Detroit, dude.
If I go to...
Juntau, are you looking forward to adopting a grown black man? I could use a PC.
I was really freaked out there. I was like, where are you going with this? Final question from the great Bryce Arena. If everything is almost done, why is the PTU still in Evocati and haven't at least moved on to the first wave PTU? Not sure if builds are still unstable or if they just plan on releasing to live without a first or second wave PTU. Thoughts, people? Don't all rush.
They need to get more stuff done.
I mean, here's a hint. Today is Saturday.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I mean, if
Saturday,
they're on...
suddenly wave 1, everything breaks.
Well,
yeah.
Related question. When do you think the PT it will go to PT? Because it said P2 wave is forming. So I'm thinking Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, I was going to say probably closer to like the beginning of the week. So that way, by the end of the week, they can have hot fixed any major issues that
reminds me
crashing computers and whatnot.
This reminds me, PAX East is next week.
Not yet. We'll get to that.
No, it's related. It's related to that. It's related. I'm thinking maybe I have a free fly. That's all. Maybe I have a free fly.
But no, I'm sorry, I lied. Patch E went out 18 hours ago. There's 2 posts about Patch E for the Evocati. One was 18 hours ago, one was an hour ago. So Patch E is actually pretty old.
18 hours is pretty old.
For, I mean...
3.4 is just like thousands of hours old.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Maybe tens of thousands. I don't know. That's crazy. But I will say one thing about that, like why? Time. If you haven't noticed by now, CIG has its own schedule, its own calendar, its own perception of time. It's everything. It works in this little bubble that you are on the outside of.
You know what I call it? I call it CIG people time.
It CIG is literally in its own time zone, in like somewhere in distant space. Because 2016, that shit's gone. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody was aware of that, but it's 2019. So we missed some shit. And they have a habit of doing that. So yeah, it's crazy.
It's only 2004 according to my clock. Let's wrap it up here. Nitro.
Yes.
Our biggest thanks to you because, like I said, without you, we wouldn't have been able to do that this week.
All right.
Where can we find you outside of here?
You can find me at twitter.com/nitrotypat. And then also every once in a blue moon, I'll stream at twitch.tv/nitrotypat. Once this semester is over, I'll probably stream a lot more because games like Satisfactory has come out, and those are games that I can just play for 6 hours straight, like the day it came out, and just kind of forget that time exists and forget to eat or drink. So,
and forget that you're waiting for Star Citizen. You said Satisfactory?
Yeah.
That's a good game. I heard. I don't have it, but I heard it's freaking a lot of fun.
It's
Conveyor belts are like crack.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Oh yeah.
I don't get it. It's just like, dude, logistics, that's my thing, dude.
He just mentioned the word satisfactory. I'm kind of like, Yeah, I might just go and play that for a bit now. Juntau, where can we find you outside of here?
Oh, that's a scary question. If you would like to, if you have the balls, you can follow me on Twitter at the Bass Pirate, the Bass Radio Discord. Yeah, here apparently today. This will be the last time, I guarantee it.
I mean,
though.
this
Eris
is
going to be like,
Bass.
"What did you do? Why would you do this?" But it'll be okay. I love David. He's a good man.
He is. We're legally obliged to say that. Fastcart.
Yes, sir.
First of all, where can we find you outside of here?
You can find me on Twitter at fast_cart. You find me normally on Tuesdays with Cold Fishing on the Bass Radio, but he's taking a hiatus for a while. And I do a segment on Miss Hart's 80s show, the Bass Radio, on Wednesday evening, Eastern time, and US time.
Now, I understand
And
today's a little bit of a special day for you because you're doing the podcast marathon, aren't you?
Yes, I'll be on Paul's Afterpub later on in under 2 hours.
Now, what are you going to be talking about on there?
Well, I'm the reason I'm here for this show and that show is because we're having a next week at PAX East, and we're doing a Ball Citizen for PAX East, and nothing has been announced so far, but normally there's a couple of CIG type people coming along. They like to hang out. They're not there in any official capacity. Nothing has been announced yet, but I'm expecting they'll put something on the weekly thing on Monday if they're going to be there. Yeah. So that's the link for the PAX East Ball Citizen, and I hope to see people there. Last year we had a lot of fun. You can see the picture in the link, and we had a lot of people there. Looking forward to it.
Next week it should be back to a normal cast. I believe Jake wants to come and talk about Google Stadia and the implications for that for both consumer and dev. Be good and interesting. I think that's us. Thank you very much for coming. Hopefully we'll see you next week. You might not see me next week because I'll probably be banned now from Relay, but it was nice knowing you all.
You just blame me. Everybody does.
So wait, Nitro, you're really non-binary?